A while back, I shared the full 5 step system that changed my relationship with money. And the most common question I got was, okay, but how do I actually fill in the numbers? So today I am zooming in on the part everyone gets stuck on, the 5 categories, and exactly how to put real numbers in them when you have never done this before, when you do not know where to start, and when every budget you have ever tried has felt like a punishment. But before I get into the mechanics, I need to tell you the thing that I almost left out of the first video. There is one category in the system that I struggled with for years, and it's not because I did not understand it. It was because I felt guilty every time I used it. I'm going to start there. Because if you have ever felt that guilty, if spending even a small amount of money on yourself has ever felt irresponsible or dangerous, this video is going to change that. And once it does, the whole system starts to work in a way that it never did before. The category is called blow money. And here's my confession about it. For a long time, I could not let myself use it. Blow money is simple. It is the money in your budget that you spend on whatever you want. No justification, no tracking, no explaining to anyone. You planned for it, so you are allowed to enjoy it. And I felt guilty every time I tried. Because here is what I carried into every budget I ever built. I came to this country with nothing, no family behind me, no cushion, no one to call if things went wrong. And when you build everything alone from scratch, spending money on your own joy feels reckless. It feels dangerous. It feels like something a person with a safety net will not do. Joy felt like a luxury that I had not earned. So I skipped the category and I budgeted from fear instead of from a plan. And that is exactly what kept me stuck. And here's what I finally understood. A budget with no joy in it fails every single time. Because when you give yourself nothing, eventually you take everything. You deprive yourself for weeks. And then one hard day, you blow far more than you ever would have if you had just given yourself permission in the first place. So blow money is not the irresponsible category. It is the category that keeps every other category honest. It is the proof that you are allowed to be a person, not just a survivor. And if you are like me, this is the one you will want to skip. Do not skip it. This is the one that heals the relationship, not just the math. Now, let me show you how to actually build the whole system with real numbers. Here is the question the first video did not fully answer. How do you know what number to put next to each category? Most budgeting advice tells you to look up some percentage formula. Spend 30% on housing, 15% on food, and then fit your real life into those percentages. And for most of us, that does not work because our real life does not match the formula. And when the budget does not match reality, the budget loses. Here's the method that actually works. You reverse engineer from what you already spend. Go to your bank statement from last month or the last 3 months if you want a cleaner picture, and then go through them one transaction at a time and then sort everything into the 5 categories: fixed bills, groceries, eating out, and then food delivery, blow money, and then savings. Every transaction goes somewhere. And by the time you are done, you have your real numbers. Not what you think that you spend, what you actually spend. Those two numbers are almost always different. And the gap between them is where your budget begins. Now, here's what you do with those numbers. For the fixed bills category, that number stays. Those are your non-negotiable. Write it down and leave it. For the groceries and eating out categories, look at your real number and ask yourself one question. Is this what I want it to be? Not what some formula says it should be. What do I actually want to spend here? Because that is the number that will stick. For blow money, start small. Even $20 a month counts. Even 10. The size matters less than the practice. You are building the muscles of giving yourself permission. And for savings, start with whatever is left after the other four categories are honest, even if it is only $20 a week. Start there. Consistency compounds faster than you think. Let me walk you through each category so nothing is vague. Fixed bills. These are the things that cost the same every single month: rent or mortgage, insurance, phone, utilities that stays roughly steady, the subscriptions you have decided to keep. Write all of them down, add them up. That total is your foundation, the floor that has to be covered before anything else happens. Most people have never actually written this number down in one place. When you do, it gets real. And real is where control begins. That number is the anchor of your whole budget. Everything else gets built around it. Next, groceries. And here's what changes this category completely. Set a weekly number, not a monthly one. A monthly grocery number is too abstract to feel. You cannot manage a number that big and that distant. But a weekly number, you can hold it in your hand. You know exactly what you have for the 7 days in front of you. And when you plan even a few simple meals ahead, cook a protein twice, eat it 2 days from the same prep, the weekly number becomes very doable. Groceries are usually the first place people find money they did not know they were losing. Next, eating out and food delivery category. I gave this its own category on purpose because for most of us, this is the leak that we do not want to look at. When you do the reverse engineer and you see your real eating out number for the first time, most people are genuinely shocked. I was, and you cannot manage what you refuse to look at. So pull it into the light, give it its own number, and then decide not what you are supposed to spend, but what you actually want to spend. A dinner out you choose on purpose, it feels like a treat. A dinner that you default into out of exhaustion, it feels like a hole. The goal is not zero. The goal is to be intentional. So remove all pressure, start small, because consistency is the whole point. Next, savings. And I want to take every ounce of pressure off with this category right now. Start with $20. If $20 is what this season looks like for you, that is your number. The amount matters less than the habit. $20 a week every week becomes a real number faster than you think. And more importantly, it proves to you that you are someone who saves. And once you believe that about yourself, the amount grows naturally as your life allows. So do not wait until you have more to start. Start with what you have this week. That is the whole secret. So here's what tonight looks like if you do this right now. Pull up your bank statements from last month. 1 month is enough to start. Open your notes app and grab a piece of paper. Write the 5 categories across the top: fixed bills, groceries, eating out, blow money, savings. Go through every single transaction line by line and then sort it. When you are done, add up each column. Those are your real numbers. Now, look at those numbers honestly. Your fixed bills, it stays. For everything else, ask yourself what you want the number to be. Adjust and then write your target number next to your real number for each category. That gap between what you actually spend and what you want to spend, that is your budget. It is not a formula that someone else handed you. Your real life with intention. That is 10 minutes of work. And tonight you go from wondering where your money was going to telling it where to go. So let me tell you the 5 categories one more time. Fixed bills, your foundation, the floor, everything else is built on. Groceries, weekly, not monthly. Eating out, pulled into the light with its own number chosen on purpose. Blow money, the joy category, the one that you will want to skip, but the one that heals your relationship and savings. So don't skip it. Start with $20 this week. And the method to fill them in, Reverse engineer from last month's real spending, not a formula, your actual life made intentional. I spent years skipping the blow money category because joy felt dangerous to a woman who built everything alone with no safety net. And that one decision to deny myself the joy category, it kept me budgeting from fear instead of from a plan. And fear never builds anything. You are allowed to have peace and joy with money. You are allowed to have the joy category. Nobody ever told me that. So I am telling you, this is the second birth. Not a 30-line spreadsheet, not a finance degree, not waiting until you make more, just 5 honest categories, real numbers from your real life, and the decision to give yourself permission. All right, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Webley, and this is Financial Control for Women starting over at 50 years old. And I want you to tell me in the comments, which of the 5 categories is hardest for you to fill in? Mine was blow money for years. I read every single one of your comments. And if you have not seen the full 5-step system video yet, the link is in the description. So subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.